Hello and welcome to Module 6, Lesson 2. Yesterday we worked on number lines, and today we're actually going to work on a coordinate plane, which involves two separate number lines that can plot any point in between those two lines. Our learning target for today is I can construct a coordinate system on a plane with an x and y axis. Let's take a look at what that means. Yesterday, we worked a lot on just plain number lines. So what that means is if I gave you this number line here on the bottom, and we know that our origin, let's see, and we know that our origin there we go. And we know that our origin is here at 0. Then I could count by anything I wanted. If I'm making this number line, let's say I want to skip count. Every whole number is going to be 2 lines. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would know that each of these little marks is 1/2. 1, 3 halves, 2, so on and so forth. And I could tell you that the coordinate of this point is 2. So one of the words that we want to use a lot today is coordinate. The coordinate is a point's distance from the origin. So this point is 2 units from the origin. But today's lesson focuses a lot on scenarios in which the point doesn't necessarily land on our number line. For example, if I put a smiley face right here, I would say to you, what's the coordinate? And I don't really have that vocabulary because I know that the x coordinate is 4, but it's not on this line. And so that's actually where our coordinate plane comes in handy. So if I were to label this one the same way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now I could say, okay, well, my smiley face, its x coordinate is 4, but now I need to know how high it is. So this here is the x coordinate, and this here is the y coordinate. Its x coordinate is 4, but its y coordinate, if I trace it back, is 3. So its coordinate would be 4, 3. And that's because we list our x coordinate first. So the x coordinate is how far to the right it's gone, and the y coordinate is how far up it's gone. And when we label it that way, we actually call that a coordinate pair. A coordinate pair. And that's because it is a pair of two coordinates, the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So let's go ahead and see if we can apply this to some problems. And I'm going to be asking you guys some questions as you are following along. Okay, let's take a look at problem number 1. This again is, oops. Came unplugged here. The beauty of live video. Okay, let's take a look at this problem here. You will have an opportunity to answer these questions on Edpuzzle. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a new color. These questions say, name the shape at each location. So I have my coordinate plane here. My x-axis goes this way. My y-axis goes this way. And so now I can map out any of these shapes with just 2 numbers. The first one, the x-coordinate is 2. The y-coordinate is 5. So I'm looking for the shape at 2, 5. So my goal here is I'm going to go 2 on the x-coordinate, and I'm actually going to count up. 2, And this is the only shape here, but I need to verify that it's at y5. And if I trace it back, it is at 5. So the shape that is at 2, 5 is the triangle. Let's take a look at the next one. The x-coordinate is 1, the y-coordinate is 2. What shape goes here? If I go to x-coordinate 1 and y-coordinate 2, I see that it is the circle. And I'm actually just going to draw my circle here. Next one is what shape is at the coordinate 5, 6? So I just need to go to x equals 5 and then trace it up. It's very hard to draw a straight line for me. And go to y equals 6 and trace it back. And that shape is the square. And finally, what shape is at coordinate 6, 5? Now, this is where a lot of misconceptions come in. You need to remember that the x-coordinate comes first. So now I'm going to count out to 6. I see a shape here. I see a pentagon, but this is at x equals 6, but it has no y value yet because it has moved up. So I'm going to keep on moving up. And here it is. It's at 5. So this shape is, well, it has 6 sides. So this shape is called a hexagon. Part B, which shape is 2 units from the y-axis? Well, I'm going to look at my y-axis, and I need to find out what is 2 units away. So I'm going to count 1. Let me change my color here. I'm going to count 1, 2, and I'm going to see which shape falls on this line here. And that is actually the triangle. So the triangle is the shape that falls 2 units from the y-axis. Which shape has an x-coordinate of 0? So if I look here, it's asking which shape did not move anywhere on this line. And so it's got to be on this line. And that shape here, just like we learned last week, is the parallelogram. Next question, which shape is 4 units from the y-axis and 3 units from the x-axis? Well, let's go to the y-axis first. What shape is 4 units away? So it's got to be on this line somewhere. And which shape is 3 units from the x-axis? So it's got to be 3 units up. So it's going to be this one. That is the diamond. Question 2. Let's move on. Now we're doing the same thing, except we are filling in our coordinates. We are filling in our coordinates. Based on the shape. So the smiley face, I need to find the smiley face, and here it is. So my first step is I need to go down. Oops. I need to move down and find out its x-coordinate. And its x-coordinate is 2. Then I need to move over and find out what its y value is. And its y value is 1. So its coordinate pair would be 2, 1. Let's work on a few more shapes. Now let's find the diamond. The diamond is here. So step 1, find its x-coordinate. 2. Step 2, find its y-coordinate. Now, I'm running out of numbers here. So I need to find out what each value here is. And since it takes 4 squares to get to a whole number, I know that each one is a fourth. So this is going to be 3 and 2/4. So this is 3 and 3/4. So it's 2 and then 3 and 3/4. Let's find the other two, and we'll talk about this after the lesson.